Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we have another quick tip video. Today's video is going to be regarding this internal Honda PCV valve that we have here. We're going to get into this and talk about it and things you should be looking out for. Now before we go ahead and begin, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Definitely smash the like button because it helps the channel out. With that said, let's go and get started on today's video. So Honda internal PCV valves, what are they? So it's a PCV valve. It's not really that much different from your standard external one that will normally sit on top of the valve cover. These just have a design where they basically go inside of it and they are bolted up externally, and everything happens inside the valve cover. It's specially designed to where it can do its job internally. Now a lot of people, if you have one of these vehicles, and I believe these started off in 2005 and up vehicles, I'm not exactly sure if they still use them because we don't really get any 2024 or 2025 vehicles in the shop as of yet that are needing replacements like this. But I do know that they started this trend in, I believe, 05 is when I first started seeing it, because I remember working on a couple 04 Acuras and they had the 3.2 in them and they still had the one up top. So I want to say it's when they kind of went over to the 3.5 liter and all those other variations and so on. Now the valve that you have in front of you right now came out of a 07 Honda Pilot with a J35, which is a regular 3.5 liter. And this vehicle was not experiencing any issues. It was simply in here. We were doing a valve cover gasket job, and these typically will live in the front valve cover, the one that's closest to the front of the vehicle where the radiator is. And they are kind of positioned, if you're standing in front of the car, they're gonna kind of be here on the right-hand side of the valve cover if you're looking at the vehicle. They can be very well hidden because typically all you're gonna see is just this little sliver. The rest of this is normally internal. And if your vehicle suffers from any sort of leaks, like this vehicle was leaking from the valve cover and a few other little places, sometimes these will kind of get lost with all of that stuff that's going on there. Since these can easily be overlooked, a lot of people don't wind up replacing them, and I believe that's what the case was with this vehicle. This vehicle was a 07 with around 155,000 miles on it, I believe. And like I said, we just did it as a maintenance item, and I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see it's definitely in need of it. Now the way these work, just to give everyone a little heads up here, it's basically, it's like a PCV valve that you normally would have externally, except that it flows in through here and through there, and then it has a little mechanism built in. I might just open this up and, kind of exactly see what's in there because I'm not 100% sure how it's designed. I don't really hear anything in there. I mean, there's a little rattle, kind of like a check bulb, I want to say, but that could be stuck because this thing is pretty, as you can see, well oiled up, and everyone can see, look at all that grime on there. Now, if you are servicing your vehicle or you're just doing this as a maintenance, one thing that I want to stress is always replace it. A lot of people will have a tendency to clean these and put them back in. They do have O-ring seals. You can see there's one there and one towards the top. You do need those gaskets if you are planning on cleaning it because typically they flatten out. And by the time you get those gaskets or find them, you're better off just buying the PCV valve. Now this thing, all in all, I've seen them as cheap as 20 bucks and as expensive as 50 bucks. It depends on where you get them, but it's kind of what they go for. And I would definitely recommend replacing them. If you try to clean them up, it's plastic. It may not do a good job. It's the same exact thing that you would have with the older PCV valves. If they froze up and you clean them, they would work, but not that great. So definitely recommend replacing them. Another tip that if you are replacing this, make sure inside the valve cover where this will typically sit in, there's no chunks of oil like this one has. Make sure you clean it out. And if you're going to be cleaning it out, it's honestly best if the valve cover is off the vehicle. So if you're doing this while, let's say you're doing a valve cover gasket job, then it's the best time because you can get the brake cleaner in there, clean it out, blow it out with some shop air, make sure there's no residue or buildup like this valve has on there because typically it'll build up in there. If you're not removing the valve cover from the vehicle and servicing this, then I probably would just be careful. Maybe just use a vacuum and try to suck out anything that might be in there. But note, you're not going to be getting it super clean. So just as a little FYI. Now, these can cause check engine lights, but this design is really well made. I really haven't seen too many failures on these, or maybe I just haven't seen that many in my shop. It varies, I'm sure. If they are prone to failing quite often, the comment section will let us know. But overall, I just wanted to share this information because a lot of people are under the assumption that they don't have a PCV valve on newer engines because they don't see the old school vacuum line on a little valve in one of their valve covers. That's usually up top or to the side. But Honda does have them. They just, kind of made them hidden. And a lot of people don't know and forget, and there might be an issue and it's overlooked. This could probably save you, a couple hours of headache or frustration and stress. And it could probably save you a couple $1,000s if there were to be a scenario where someone misdiagnoses your car and it winds up being a, let's say $40 part, which, something like this can go for. So just want to share that with everyone. Hopefully this video is educational and helps somebody out, because I know I've heard the question of, do these engines still have PCV valves? And read it and weed, they do. So like always, comment, like, and subscribe because it definitely helps the channel grow. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next video.